Hey team, you spoke and we listened, and we are taking all of our best web classes and we're making them completely free for you forever. So grab a pen and paper and let's get busy. Good morning, traders. Happy Friday. Happy May 6th, year of our Lord 2022. How are you guys doing, guys and ladies, doing today? I am so excited to be here on a Friday morning. This is my favorite time of the week. And we do this every other week, as you guys know, and it is so much fun for me. I consider the trading room execution time, and I consider these web classes education time, because we cover a lot. And it's hard to get all of that in the span of, 30 minutes or less on a daily basis, but that's why we focus on these. Now, these, of course, will be available forever for members of the 10-minute trading room. Inside the 10-minute trading room, we have private members only live training section. And this will be live to the public for just a couple of days. So the cost of admission is hitting the share button down below, because I want to make sure that whoever is interested in trading gets an opportunity to view this before it is permanently archived just for the members of the 10-minute trading room. So if you are here, let me know by saying hi in the comment section. I'm going to be asking you guys questions today as well. I love how we can make these web classes interactive. And because we make these interactive, I need your participation. So if you're here, let me know. Just say hi, and that way we can make sure that the chat box is working, that you can see, and you can also participate as well. And I'm going to give you just a minute. Go get a pen and paper, because we're going to cover a lot. Covering a ton. Specifically, we're going to be covering some big lessons out of Mark's book, Mindset Secrets for Winning. So Mark is one of my mentors, Mark Minervini. I worked with him for a while. I learned a lot from him. One of the things that I really learned, like my very favorite lesson that I ever learned from him on a mindset front, was when something goes right, not when something goes wrong. When something goes right, that's when you say, yes, that is just my luck right there. That's me. That's normal for me. That winning feeling and embracing that as your identity, that's one of the biggest mindset lessons I got from him. And I love that, right? It's not when you stub your toe or when you spill your coffee or whatever and you say, oh, that's just my luck. It's the opposite, right? It's the opposite. It's when you close that winning trade and you're like, yeah, that is just my luck. It's whenever, you give your son a big hug and he looks back at you and he said, I love you, Dad. And you say, yep, that's just my luck. Right? It's whenever you do something and it works, and then you say, that is just my luck. And then Mark Douglas. So both of these are market wizards. Mark Douglas has since passed away. But this book, Trading in the Zone, has taught me so much about the mindset of trading. And I think I've read this 3 or 4 times. Mark has... other people other than Mark have taken his material and put it on the internet, on the YouTubes, and I've watched that countless times. And it's amazing, right? There's a way to trade, which we do every day, as you guys know, where it's not stressful. It can be if you don't understand each trade is independent. Each set of circumstances has no bearing on what happened before. Yeah, it's a totally different mindset. And once you get it, which is what we're going to be talking about today, once you get it, man, life gets a lot easier. So let me catch up with the chat and we'll get started here. I see a few of our friends here. Rudy, she is the world's bestest, and I mean this, bestest editor and graphic designer. And I'm so glad that Rudy is part of our team. Anytime I mention Rudes, this is Rudes right here. Rudes, thank you so much for coming today, hanging out with us. Donna, all the way from California. Glad to see you, Donna. Jeff, glad to see you, my friend. Glad you made it. Let's see who else is here. Kavan with the fist bumps. Dude, you rock. April is awesome. April is part of our team as well. April is, if you email into support, you're always going to get April. She is our media coordinator and amazing customer service specialist. April, thank you for hanging with us today. Good morning, Maria. Maria's from California. I know that for sure. Isaac is all the way from the east coast of Russia / Alaska. And I know it's really, really early for him. So Isaac, good morning, my friend. Pardon my cough there. Donna says hi. Good to see you, Mike. Good morning. Brian. I have something that's going in the mail today specifically for you. I put it in an envelope this morning, so that'll probably be over to you by Tuesday, Wednesday. But yeah, that's in the mail heading your way. Daniel Garcia, good morning, Chris. You are so welcome for the free copy of the book. Thank you for getting that. I never set out to be an author. I never did. I'm not a writer. I'm a talker, clearly. But a lot of this was things that I put on the podcast, and I'm like, this is really good stuff, right? So April helped me by transcribing it. Roots helped me by adding all the pictures and everything. And I'm like, this is good. This is good content. So we made it into a book format. And so I'm like, let's give this away to as many people as possible. It cost me about $5 to print the book, and then it costs about $6 to ship the book. So when I give these away for free, it costs me money, like actual money. So one of the things that we do in the 10-minute trading room is spread the wealth ripple effect. Because we spread the wealth ripple effect, this is one of the ways that we do it, right? If I can hand this to somebody, they read through this, and then they make financial decisions that change their lives in a positive way, that's what I was put on this earth to do. So in the very near future, the next couple of weeks, one of the things we're going to be doing for our members of the 10-minute trading room is a wealth ripple effect challenge. And I will print and ship the books to our members of the trading room. As many as you guys request or want, I'm going to send you boxes of these to give away. Like, that is the goal. Give away as many as possible. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, let me catch up with the chat and we'll get moving here. Rebecca Peterson. Good morning, Rebecca. Glad to see you. Okay. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get busy. Let's get right into this. By the way, make sure you have your pen and paper ready, because we're going to be getting right into it right now. All right, so this is why you came today, of course. Let me see how this fits. Cool. We got a new streaming setup this week because our old one was just not working for me anymore. And still playing with all the buttons, making sure all this works. What I want to make sure is if I put it on this size that we can still read it, and I think we can. So I'll probably be bouncing around through different orientations here as we go. Very cool. Well, you are in the right place, because this is how to effortlessly get the right mindset for trading so you can avoid the common problems that destroy most trading accounts. So as we go through here, be sure to ask questions. Be sure to share as needed to somebody that you think could use this. And we're going to get right into it. Now, before we get right into it, I have to have the legal disclaimer. My legal disclaimer. I always like to make up some facts to go along with this, okay? So I once wrestled a bear, and when I wrestled the bear, I took it by its teeth, and I drug it across the Alaskan wilderness, and I set it down at a table, and we had a nice Alaskan salmon dinner. It was beautiful. I mean, after the wrestling, he was very starved, so I wanted to feed him. I once beat Tom Brady in 27 Super Bowls. We played each other, and he's such a loser. I just beat him every single time. I was also the head scientist at NASA for 28 years. Even though I'm only 36 years old, I was there since 8 years old. And you should not listen to anything I say. If you do, take it at your own risk. That's my legal disclaimer here. I always enjoy trying to make that a little bit fun. And like I say, if you haven't in the chat, let me know that you're here. Let me know that you can see and read this and hear this and all is good to go. Brian says, thank you. You're welcome, man. Alejandro, good morning. Invited by Maria. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Maria, I'm going to write this down, because Maria is winning today's webinar challenge. That's on the next slide. Glad to have you join us here, Alejandro. Brian says, for those of you who have not read it, the book is very good and easy to follow, and it makes a difference in your knowledge of investing. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, so when when I was going through this, I'm like, this is not anything difficult, right? The objective here is to get you into our world, right? There's so much to learn, but this gets you into the world. This gets you everything you need to know to get started. So, Brian, I really appreciate that. Isaac says, nice. Roots is loving it. Two Tone says, brainiac. I wish. No, clearly, I'm going to be talking about that here in a minute, right? If I can learn how to trade, anybody can learn to trade, okay? So let me know you're here in the chat if you haven't done so already. Now, this is what I was talking about with our webinar challenge, and this is still available, all right? If you are already a member of the trading room, the webinar challenge is still up. It's still available until the end of today's web class. We're clearly in a bear market now, okay? We had bull market shirts that I retired. We had a whole funeral for the bull market. We got to have some new bear market shirts. Now, the way you get one of these, they are free to you. I will pay and ship them to you. All you got to do is invite one of your friends, like Maria invited Alejandro, and we will ship this out today, and it'll get there in about a week. Got to go to the printer, then it'll go to you, and so yeah, you'll get it soon. So that's the webinar challenge for today. If you're a member of the trading room, invite one of your friends. All you got to do, like Alejandro just did, is come, let me know that you came, and I'll ship you one of these shirts out. All right, now let's talk about this. What is a 10-minute stock trader? When I learned to trade using an iPad under my desk. And a lot of these traits I had to learn personally, and these are the traits that I want you as a 10-minute stock trader to really start embracing. A 10-minute stock trader takes calculated risks. They understand that the treasure lies in knowing the data. A 10-minute stock trader does not guess at trading. They follow their plan. They do not blame others. They take responsibility. They know why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart. They understand that they can make the world a better place. This is more than just trading. This is a lifestyle. They spread joy to others. They follow their dreams. They build each other up. This is a positive place here. We build each other up, and we use money as a tool. And my favorite thing of all, we spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Rebecca was invited by Isaac. Oh, I love it. All right, I'm catching up with the chat here. Very, very cool. Rebecca, so Isaac has one. Isaac is getting his shirt. Daniel Garcia was invited by Kavan. Oh man, how many shirts? I would love to send 50 shirts today. That would be epic. That would be epic. Very cool, guys. Thank you so much for participating in the webinar challenge. We are spreading that wealth ripple effect. Christopher is here. Kavan invited me. Thank you for the free book. He handed them out to the team. Yes. Kavan, you rock, dude. You are spreading that wealth ripple effect all over the place. We have Anyeli was invited by Maria. Awesome. Maria's got 2 and Kavan's got 2. Let's see what I can do special for you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Now on today's agenda, we have 3 areas we're going to cover. Number 1, the 4 focus areas every successful trader has mastered. Now listen, these are much easier than you think, but it takes work. The second area we're going to cover is the number 1 reason traders blow up. And I can assure you this is critical to your success. And the third area we're going to cover is why 2 traders can make the exact same trade and have dramatically different results, which sounds impossible, but well, you're going to see exactly how. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. All right. So if this sounds like you're in the right place, please be sure to share this with somebody so they can watch this live before it comes down and is only available for members of the trading room, because I want to make sure that we spread that wealth ripple effect as far as we can. And if it sounds good to you, be sure to type yes in the chat box as well. And remember, please ask questions. I do want to say as we go, clearly I have a lot to talk about. I'm going to be asking you questions. If you have questions, please put them in the chat box. I will do my very, very best to get to every single question. If I missed your question, please know it was an accident and I will come back to it, but it's totally okay if you want to repeat the question a few times. So very cool. I want you guys to be very comfortable. I want you to be happy. I want you to learn as much as you can. I want you to make sure that you got your pen and paper because we're going to cover a lot today. Rebecca says, yes, she's in the right place. Very cool. Very cool. Marco, good morning and blessings, everyone. I love it. Yes, that right there is 10-minute trading right there. That positive outlook. Yes. All right. Now, listen, if you're not already, because I know my 10-minute stock traders know all about this, I'm going to give you $5,000 of trading education for free. We'll be talking about that later on today. But listen, when I teach you, I need you to promise me that you will not use these powers for evil, okay? When you see how to trade in 10 minutes a day, when you become a hashtag 10-minute stock trader, like us, this is going to change your life. Now, disclaimer, again, I'm going to show you the processes, but it does not guarantee you're going to be profitable. This is one of my very favorite quotes of all time from one of the people that I learned so much from. This is Richard Dennis. By 29 years old, he had made $290 million. He says, I always say you could publish the rules in a newspaper and nobody would follow them. The key is consistency and discipline. Now, I do this every webinar, every web class, because this is so important. Consistency and discipline. The world-class traders that I learned from have all one thing in common. They have rules that they follow. They follow them with consistency and discipline, just like Richard Dennis was saying here. And that's the difference between the world-class traders and everybody else. The key is consistency and discipline. Now, I'm going to give you the rules today. All right? That's why you got to have your pen and paper. I'm going to give you the rules. Now, rules are boring, but this is one of our favorite quotes we say in the 10-minute trading room. Rules are boring, but rules make you money. But I need you to promise me one thing, that you will follow them with consistency and discipline. You'll have that consistency and discipline to follow the rules, because when you do follow the rules, you will be trading like the greats. Now, these are some of the people that I learned directly from. My friend, like we just talked about a couple minutes ago, 1997 and 2021 U.S. investing champion, Mr. Mark Minervini. The first billion-dollar hedge fund manager, which is still, it gives me goosebumps to think that I had the opportunity to work with Larry. Larry Hite, one of the original market wizards. The first time we were supposed to meet, he didn't answer the Zoom call. And I was like, because he's really old. I was like, oh, geez, please, dear Lord, please not have Larry Hite die before our call. That would be the worst. But no, he was good. He just didn't know how to turn on the Zoom camera. So we were able to make it work. But yeah, Larry Hite, the very first billion-dollar hedge fund manager. Market wizard Tom Basso, we'll talk about him more in a minute. My friend Steve Burns, best-selling millionaire trading author, who I've learned so much from. Market wizard Jack Schwager, I learned a lot from him. Trend following pioneer Richard Dennis. And I took all of their best lessons and I created a strategy to manage a portfolio in only 10 minutes a day. Now, this is this is Tom Basso. When he and I were working together, he's like, Chris, listen, I need to learn from you because my strategy takes me 20 minutes. And I'm like, no. No, sir. You figured out how this is done. I'm just following in your footsteps at this point. So my goal with this web class is to show you the only way, and I mean this, the only way to be successful as a trader is through 10-minute trading. And I'm going to show you. The only way to do 10-minute trading is with the strategy that we use every single day inside the 10-minute trading room. That's why you need to be taking notes, because I'm going to teach it to you. Now, who am I? My name is Christopher Uhl, founder and head trader at 10minutestocktrader.com. I have twice won the award for Top 100 People in Finance. Been nominated for Top 100 Global Leaders in Finance. My podcast was in the top 10 Investing's iTunes podcast. I've been on TV hundreds of times. I'll never forget the first time I was on TV. I was literally like dripping in sweat. And my publicist, she was like, listen, Chris, you don't have to be right. It's just your opinion. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It's okay. And that really chilled me out. Because it's like trading, right? You don't have to be right. It's okay. Take a small loss and move on. But yeah, been on TV all over the place at this point. Doesn't even make me nervous anymore. And my company is one of the 20 most innovative companies for 2020. Now, these are a few of the places you may have seen me on, like TD Ameritrade, Benzinga, Yahoo Finance, all over the place. Also, my strategy that we teach every day had 172.41% in 2021. So I definitely know what I'm talking about here. But it didn't start this way, okay? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Not at all. I didn't come from a family of traders. I grew up in a double-wide mobile home in rural Texas. And I went to school at a small college in Arkansas, which at this moment is almost on the verge of bankruptcy. And I'm like, oh, geez, can't believe this. Like, I know people that could write a check and get this school out of bankruptcy in 2 seconds. But it's not going to help that school because they got problems. They got management problems, unfortunately. Now, I do not have an Ivy League degree. I'm going to put this out right here. I do not have an Ivy League degree. I did not work on Wall Street. And I do not have a hedge fund yet, but that is one of my goals in life. And I want you to know that you can do this. You can learn how to trade. But you cannot, under any circumstance, think you know more than the market. You can't. You can't think you know more than the market. Let me repeat that once more. You cannot, under any circumstance, think that you know more than the market. Now, this blows a lot of people's mind when I say this, but trading is easy. Trading is easy when you know how to follow the proven rules. I didn't write these rules. These rules were created by people who, I mean, they dedicated their lives to figure out how the market works, and then I learned from them, and I put it all together. So are you ready to learn these rules? Okay, like I said, this is the way the top traders trade out there. Type yes in the chat box if you are ready to learn the rules. I'm going to start making a couple notes here. Let's see. Victor made it. Good to see you, my friend Victor. Victor, we're working on something special for you. I can't wait to send it to you. Angel, or is it Angel or Angel? I assume it's Angel. Angel was invited by Victor. He's told me a lot about this strategy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Victor gets his bear market shirt. Very cool. Rude says yes. Christopher says yes. Donna says ready. Two-Tone says let's effing go. I love it. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm excited to share this with you guys today so much. All right. Now, grab your pen and paper because we're getting into it now. We are getting into it. This is the first section, okay? The 4 focus areas every successful trader has mastered, and these are easier than you think. These are easier than you think, but you got to master them. So, if you guys don't know, I actually have blown up my account twice before I really started to take things serious. And maybe you've had a similar experience, all right? And a lot of the best traders in the world did as well. Mark Minervini, it took him 7 years to become profitable. It took me 6. I'm not at all bragging, but it took me 6. It took him 7. And most traders, the most successful traders in the world, have a similar experience. So you're not wrong. You're not in the wrong if you've blown up your account. I mean, maybe this has happened to you. Let me tell you about the first time I blew up my account. This was around the 2016 presidential election. And the thought was that the general consensus in the social medias was if Donald Trump won, the market was going to crash. If Hillary Clinton won, the market was going to go gangbusters. That was the general consensus, okay? So Chris got pretty clever. Chris was like, sweet. Hillary's supposed to win, right? That was the theory. A, the market's going to go gangbusters when she wins. B, she's supposed to win. I'm going to set up a trade that's going to go, like, it's going to be the best trade ever. Let's be honest here, okay? So the way that this works is if the market goes up, you have basically unlimited profits. If the market goes down, you have profits, but they're limited. But if the market does nothing, you could literally lose your entire account. And clearly I thought I knew everything, right? I thought I knew everything about trading. And I was like, okay, sweet. I'm going to put everything I've ever saved in my entire life right here. Because the market's going to do one or the other. It's either going to go up, it's either going to go down, but there's no chance it's going to stay right here. The problem with this strategy was that the election was on Tuesday. Friday was when my options were set to expire. By the time, and if you guys remember, after Trump won, the market just went up for 4 years straight. This is not political. This is fact. If the market went up, how could I have blown up my account? Well, it only went up about this much. It only went up from B to C, which is about right here. Because it only went up that much by Friday, my account was toast. Toast! This should have worked. But I didn't know what I was doing. Even though I thought I knew everything about trading, I hadn't mastered my pride. Pride is the first area that we need to work on as traders. Pen and paper time. You've got to start to master your pride. So let's think about this, right? We can't control the markets. Even though we have a strategy that mathematically shows to have a positive edge, we can't control the market. Just look at anybody who bought tech stocks, right? Anybody who said buy the dip. And in 2022, as we've seen, the dip just keeps on dipping. We can't control the markets. We can only control ourselves. And the number one thing that you got to work on with pride is you have to respect risk. You have to. Risk comes before profits. Let me repeat that. As a trader, you need to focus on risk in the trade and not how much you're going to make. You must have conviction in the trade. Otherwise, you wouldn't put it on. Clearly, you have to have conviction of, oh, this has, for us, a mathematical edge. For you, maybe it's a certain chart pattern. But you must have conviction in a trade. But quickly admit when you're wrong. When I see people on the internet talking about diamond hands, that is the fastest way to blow up your account. The opposite of diamond hands is paper hands, and that is exactly what I have and exactly what I preach and exactly how the best traders work. Listen, Mark, when he trades, right, it's not about win percent, okay? I'm intervening here. It's not about win percent. It's about how much you make when you're right and how little you lose when you're wrong. One of Mark's things is he'll put on a trade, and if it's not working within 30 minutes, he's out. Irrespective of the fact that he lost maybe a tiny bit of money, he's out. He doesn't care. Because he knows when he's right, he will make boatloads more than the couple of pennies that didn't work. You have to quickly admit you're wrong. You do not hold things when you're wrong. You hold them when you're winning. One of the best ways to describe this is strong beliefs, weakly held. Which is weird, right? How can you have strong beliefs and be weakly held? I have a high conviction that this trade is going to work, clearly, because that's why I'm putting it on. But if it doesn't work, I will get out as fast as possible. That's what you got to think about. Let me catch up with the chat here real quick. Maria says, yes, she is ready to go. Awesome. Brian asks a question. Are there day trading limitations for options? The only day trading limitation that I'm aware of is the pattern day trading rule. I mean, and that's for accounts under 25,000. Once you achieve 25,000, you're basically like free to do whatever, as long as you're in a margin account. If you're in a cash account, it works a little differently. In fact, I specifically, oh, that's a really good question. There's specifically a chapter in the book about this. Let me find it real quick. It's the chapter called 3 Easy Ways. No. Where's it at? Avoiding Pattern Day Trading Problems. Avoiding Pattern Day Trading Problems, Chapter 8. Chapter 8 in this book. Once you get past 25,000, you're basically, unlimited, right? No one's holding you back. But that's the only limitation that I can think of, Brian. Strong beliefs, weakly held. Now, let's talk about pride a little bit further. Have you ever just come off the back of a winning trade, right? Let's say you just put on a winner and you come off and you're like, dang, that rocked. That was a good one. And so it's like, maybe you felt like everything you touch makes money. Maybe you got the Midas touch, okay? You're not alone. Not at all. That's pretty normal. When you come off of a big winner or a couple win streak, you get into this mindset of, I'm untouchable, right? That's what happened to Ryan Pierpont. Now, Ryan Pierpont has placed third in the U.S. Investing Championship for 2 years in a row. But he also grew his account 1,500% in those 2 years. But before he was able to find that success, he's told me how he had success early on, right? The first few trades that he put on were all giant winners. He spent the next 3 years giving it all back. Because he was convinced everything he touched turned to gold, because what happened to him up front was winners. So he thought, hey, I'm a winner. Everything I do is a winner. I ain't gonna worry about it. Because of this pride, it took him years to overcome that. So you got to make sure that you treat each trade independent, right? You don't want to let early success turn into euphoria. That's the second thing. Euphoria is one of the big topics in trading in the zone. And if you've read this book, you'll know he talks a lot about that euphoric state. And it can happen after one winning trade, right? And when you achieve euphoria, there's no need for a stop loss. Why would you need a stop loss, right? Everything you touch turns to gold because you have euphoria. There's no need for a trading plan because everything you touch wins because you're in this state of euphoria. And listen, you can put 100% of your account into every single trade. You could probably even go like mortgage your house because you have this state of euphoria. You've decided that, you know what, I can't lose because you've entered this state of euphoria. But we all know what happens next. And it's the opposite of euphoria. It's bankruptcy. You have to have conviction in a trade. I agree. But you can't let one trade that worked well for you ruin the next who knows how many trades. In Ryan's experience, 3 years. You have to have conviction, but quickly admit when you're wrong. This is a really good transition, by the way. Joshua says, Kavan gave me the book and Kavan sent him over. Kavan, spread that wealth ripple effect all over the place, my friend. You rock. We're going to transition to a little clip about Kavan, actually. So Kavan and we had a consultation one day, and I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to. And this is open to all members of the trading room. Let's schedule a time. Let's meet. Let me help you. Okay? So in my time with Kavan, he mentioned this to me. And I want to show it to you because I'm going to let him say it in his own words.
But I know how to enter the stock, never know how to exit. So I remember one day I was up on Airbnb. This is in November now. I'm up on Airbnb. First, I jumped in. I bought 1 shares of AMD. I got stopped out because I set a stop loss right away. Me and my stop loss, And then in the same time, I bought 2 shares of Airbnb. Got stopped out of AMD. I was mad now. So I went in, bought 2 shares of Airbnb that day. And it went up for a little bit, then it came back down. It went down a little bit more. And I'm holding, and I'm like, oh crap. I only have this contract for a week, and I think it was a Wednesday. And I'm like, oh no. So now I'm down $1,600 in one day. So I'm at work, I'm at shop, I'm sweating. I got all these guys coming to me, and I'm like, I don't even want to talk to them out there.
Yeah.
So it went down, it went from 202 to 180. I bought it again, 1 shares. at 180. And I'm like, I'm got to make some of this money back. Right? It went down even more.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? I have $300 left. How about I buy it for 30 days?
Okay.
So I bought one more contract for 30 days.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, I'm back up 200%. So I'm breaking even right now. I'm breaking even, and I'm there. It was a Friday now. I'm heading to Disney World, and I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, should I sell this? Should I not? Because I did not know, how to take profit. I did not know to move a trailing stop, and I'm still working on that. So that's one thing that we want to talk about.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, I watched that stock turn into a loser again. Didn't exit the trade. Turn into a loser. I think I only made out of everything. I end up out of the 60. I think I end up with like 90. That's all I end up with. Right. And when I set up the Discord, there's Benzinga. I have a Benzinga YouTube stream in there. So whenever Benzinga have an alert, it will show in my Discord.
So you went through this course. After you went through the course, you were trying to trade on your own, but you felt like you hadn't learned anything. But then they gave you some other indications with moving averages, price action trading, things like that. And that sort of spoke to you in a different way. And then you got into trading almost like revenge trading, right? Where it's like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to make my money back no matter what.
I'm going to make my money back no matter what.
I'm going to make my money back no matter what. That's revenge trading. That's the third section that you got to think about, right? And I'm so glad Kavan mentioned that to me, honestly, because everyone's trading journey is different. I don't remember a time where that impacted me, but I know it's really common. I never thought to myself, I got to get my money back from this stock. I was on the other end. I was like, I hate this damn stock. I'm never trading it again. But that revenge trading is real. And Kavan, I really appreciate you taking the time to share that with us, because I think that experience was very, very common. And this is something we have to overcome, right? No matter what, we have to overcome this. And it can be hard. But as I mentioned a minute ago, right, we have to accept the outcomes of the market. One of the ways we do this is mentally think about, right? Mentally think about being rigid in the plan, but flexible in the outcome. I'm going to speak more to this later, but your plan you set ahead of time, and you're not adjusting it mid-trade. You're rigid in the plan, but we all know that the outcome we have to be flexible with, because a trade can be perfectly set up and you can make a ton of money. And you can see that exact same setup again. It can be a loser. You're not going to lose a ton of money if you trade the right way. Rigid in the plan, but flexible in the outcome. Ova Osha says Ova Osha got the book from Kavan. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated. Kavan, you are rocking it today, dude. Brian says, pride is the devil. Revenge is not a healthy trait anywhere in life. And I am glad Kavan's a recovering pride addict, like most of us. Absolutely. So this is why you make your trade or your plans before making the trades, because you make your plan before making the trades because you're making it when you are emotionless. Money has this energy to it. Trading has this energy to it. This is something you have to overcome. And it's a lot easier to do when you don't have emotions in it. So you set up your plan, which you are rigid with, ahead of time. And then you follow the plan and you accept the flexible outcomes. You must have conviction in the trade, but quickly admit when you're wrong. Quickly admit when you're wrong. Now, this is the hardest lesson of them all, okay? This is the hardest lesson of the 4, but it seems so simple. Okay, so the 4 were pride, euphoria/happiness, revenge trading, and this is the last one. This is the hardest one. And it seems simple, but it's harder than you think. Let me tell you about the time I was trading on a business trip, okay? Like I said, I learned to trade on an iPad, so I could trade anywhere, anytime. 10-minute stock trading. I arrived in New Mexico on a business trip. It was with a couple other colleagues. And they're sitting in the front seat. They're driving. I jump in the back seat, pull out my iPad, and I start making trades, slapping on trades. You know why? You know why I was slapping on trades? Because I had money to burn. I was not fully invested. I didn't have any other trades on, and I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? I got to put all these trades on right now, no matter what. Just slapping them in, right? But I had no plan. I had no plan whatsoever. I was in the back seat of that, I don't know, it's called a Chevy Cruze. Doing my thing, putting on all the trades. For no other reason than I wanted action. I had no plan. I just wanted to trade something. I was bored. I wanted action. I hadn't learned sit-out power. Trying to force trades. Trying to find action when there isn't any to be had was a very expensive lesson for me. Now, Mark has a few quotes, and I'm so grateful for Mark. This is one of the quotes that he put out right during the COVID crash, all right? Right during the COVID crash. So this isn't new. This is 2 years old at this point. He says, when you evolve to the point of always being patient and only taking quality trades, that means you've decided you're in it not for action. You're not in it for action, but to make money. Trading is not entertainment. Trading's only objective is to increase your trading account. It is not for action. You have to have sit-out power. You never force trades. And you're a pro when you can do that. Of the 4, this is the hardest one, but also the most important. You have to have sit-out power. You never force trades. Now, there was a follow-up tweet to this that was so perfect. So perfect. This person asks, but what are you doing in between waiting for quality trades? Waiting. But it's perfect. This is the perfect question to ask. Because when you have sit-out power, the first question you ask is, okay, so what are you going to do in the meantime, right? And that's what he's saying. What are you doing while you're waiting for quality trades? Waiting. How many times have you traded just because you had money in your account you wanted to put on trades? I bet I struck a nerve right there, didn't I? How many times have you traded just because you had money to trade? No other reason than there was money in your account, you had to do something with it. That reminds me of my dad. When I was a little kid, he you get $10 here and there as a kid, and the first thing I want to do is go spend it, right? It's like, I got $10. What used video game? Because that was the household I grew up in. There wasn't anything nice in my house. What used video game can I go buy today? And my dad would always say, "You got a hole in your pocket?" No. He's like, "Where did all your money go?" I spent it as fast as possible. That's the same mentality when people put on trades that don't need to be put on, only because they have money in their account. Do you have a hole in your pocket? Do you have a hole in your account? I know I hit a nerve there. It was me. And it may have been you too. Brian says, is waiting to trade or stalking? Either way sounds good, right? I mean, you could think of it like a panther looking to pounce upon its trade as soon as it's there. Actually, we do have more on that in a little bit. But yeah, you're waiting. And it's hard. When we first started the trading room, it was November 11th, 2021. Funny story, I accidentally launched it that day. It was supposed to go out on Black Friday, but the emails were all set up and I was clicking around and apparently I clicked the go live on the emails. And I think Brian was the first person to ever sign up. And I was like, well, I guess we're live today. But then over the course of the next 60 days, the market didn't give us any opportunities. And I know Brian and Isaac and a few others were saying like, what's the point of this? If I'm not trading all the time, why would I even care to be a trader? The point is not to have action. The point is to make money. And you make money by following a set of rules with consistency and discipline. Angel says, this has happened more than he'd like to admit. Absolutely. Brian says, I moved from wanting to spend money to investing it. Same concept should be applied to trading. Do you need it? Do you need this trade? It's a great point, Brian. I love that. Gold star. Do you need this trade? We, as humans, are always craving action, right? We don't want to be bored. And we don't want our money to be bored. When money gets bored, money wants to go somewhere. Because money's emotionally charged. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Mark has these 6 key trading rules, and we say this all the time in the trading room. His number 1 rule right here is wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. When he won the US Investing Championship in 1997, 6 months out of the year, not cumulatively, but overall, 6 months out of the year, he didn't have any trades on. He was in cash. But he also won the championship. There's no reason to be like throwing trades in all the time. Not until you got a proper setup. But it's so hard because we crave action and that money gets emotionally charged. But remember this. With the market in correction, this is where the willingness to exercise sit-out power, which is the hardest of the 4, is key. While you do nothing and hold your cash, less experienced, lesser disciplined, and less skilled investors lay the groundwork for your success. They are building the bases, and we are going to go and buy the breakouts. Ugh! If you had any idea how much wisdom is in this quote right here, that's billions of dollars of wisdom. Less experienced people are going out and buying all the dips. Lesser disciplined people are watching as their accounts are being evaporated. Less skilled investors are watching as Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, anything you want to talk about is crashing. And they're buying the mess out of that. But they're laying the groundwork for your success. Because at some point, the bases will be built and we will buy the breakouts. But in the meantime, let them do their thing. And hold cash as long as it takes. This is the quote I was mentioning earlier, Brian. This is Jim Rogers, one of the market wizards. One of the best rules anybody can learn about investing is to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless there is something to do. I just wait until there's money lying in the corner. I'm getting goosebumps because it's so freaking true. I just wait until there's money lying in the corner, and all I have to do is go over there and pick it up. I wait for the situation That is like the proverbial shooting fish in a barrel. When's the last time you saw somebody on the internet, some trader you follow, talking about how they're strategically holding cash? When's the last time that you actually said to yourself, you know what? I think cash may be better than trading this. When's the last time you went out, you were talking to your friends, and they're like, oh, I just bought more shares of Teladoc, which is already down 90%. And you thought to yourself, hey, maybe I should go buy some. But in reality, one of the best rules anybody can learn about investing is to do nothing. Absolutely nothing until there is something to do. That's a really good one. Really good one. Strategically hold cash. Strategically hold cash. Those are the 4 areas that every successful trader has to master. And like I said, they're easier than you think. But it's all in your head. So number 1 was pride. Lose your pride in trading. Number 2 was euphoria. Happiness. Just don't. Right? Everything you touch doesn't turn to gold. Rich in your plan, flexible in your expectations and the outcomes. Number 3, don't revenge trade. Number 4, strategically hold cash and don't go looking for action. Okay? So like I say, how easy is that, right? It can be tough, but it's all in your head. And the easiest way to get around this is in 3 words. And you've probably heard me say this before. 3 words. Unbreakable trading plan. This is how you trade successfully. You develop an unbreakable trading plan before you put on the trade. Be rigid in the plan, but flexible in the outcome. So here's the key takeaway from the first section here. Successful trading is rules-based. By putting those rules on your unbreakable trading plan, and then following that with consistency and discipline. And remember, this is the hard part, but it's true. Rules are boring, but rules make you money. And the secret weapon? It's having that unbreakable trading plan. So does that make sense? Let me know in the chat box, right? Let me know if this is making sense in the chat box. Type in yes if this makes sense. I'll give you guys just a minute here. I know there's going to be a delay, but let me know if this makes sense, right? Before we move into the next section, if you have any questions, let me know if you have any questions before we move into the next section. And I really hope you took notes, because this is so critically important to your success, right? I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. These are the lessons that were taught to me, and I'm just paying it forward. Brian says, glad you clicked early. I did question the program then. Oh, about November 11th. Yeah. Glad you clicked early. I did question the program then, but that was before you instructed us as to follow the rules and to read the books to understand what we're doing and why. This is missing in many other programs. Dude, awesome. Really appreciate that. And he says yes. Donna says yes. Mondo says yes. Two-Tone says yes. Rude says yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Money's emotionally charged. Trading can be emotionally charged. And the way to get around that is to have your unbreakable trading plan. It's unbreakable because, if you don't write this down, like physically, pen to paper, write this down, or put it in a spreadsheet or something like that. If you don't put it down, at least for me, I was out there all the time saying, oh, I'll give it another 50 cents. I'll give it another $1. I'll give it another $2. and then it blows through all that and it continues to go down. And I'm like, oh, I should give it another day. And it continues to go down. And then it's like, I'll give it another week and it continues to go down. And then at that point, I have no more account because my unbreakable trading plan got thrown out the window because I didn't follow it. And my account got smooshed, monkey hammered. When all I had to do was just follow the plan. And Yelly says, yes, very cool. Joshua says, yes, excellent words of advice. Awesome. Christopher says, yes. Very cool, guys. All right, we're going to the next section. Get your pen and paper, all right? This is the number one reason traders blow up. And I can assure you, this is critical to your success. Every day in the market, there are infinite opportunities. Every day. Every day. We are blessed by the market gods, right? They smile down upon us and give us infinite opportunities every single day. These are facts. But once we get into a trade, right? It's like we only see what we want to see. Let me ask you if this sounds familiar. Let's say you put in a trade. I'll tell you about the second time I blew up my account. Trading gold, okay? A few years ago. I followed this random account on Twitter. It was literally a picture of a monkey. And it was like, gold is a generational low buying opportunity right now. You need to buy as much gold as possible. So I bought I bought options, right? All the options in GLD, GDX, GDXJ, NUGT, SLV, any possible gold related stock or option or ETF, I bought the mess out of it. Generational low opportunity. It's going to go up clearly. But the thing is that gold was in a very clear downtrend. Like, it wasn't even up for debate. Gold's going down. Hard. Fast. And I was the one out there buying every dip because this monkey on the internet said it was a generational low opportunity. And every time it ticked up, I was like, we did it. Finally. Right? It's going up. Finally. What took so long? And then the next day it would go down. But then, another day would pass and it'd be a green day. I'm like, oh, there it is. That's the start of the bull run. Finally, about dang time. And then it continued to go down after that. But we only see what we want to see. So I never even actually paid attention to the fact that it was going down. I was only paying attention to those green candles. And that's what wrecked me. Because I was too emotionally involved. I was too minutely focused on every little detail to actually zoom out and see the big picture of, oh, Chris, what are you doing here? The plan was to buy low and sell high. But it seems like the second that you got in, it went down. Mondo's asking about MMFI. No. So MMFI is a market breadth indicator. And it shows you how many participants in the S&P 500 are bullish or how many are bearish. And yeah, we use that daily. But it's just like the second you get in, it goes down. And there are a lot of people right now that are going through this exact scenario. So let's go through it together. Mark's saying the crazy thing is that amateurs are not the only ones going through this. And this is exactly what's happening in the 2022 stock market, okay? You can replace this. This is Robinhood, but you can replace this with Amazon, Netflix, Teladoc, Peloton, Facebook, any stock right now looks just like this. And there are people saying this the entire way, right? This is around $45. Hey, this is a great opportunity. I thought I was going to miss this rocket ship. Thank God I get another chance to buy it at half price. That's a red flag right there. And then a couple weeks go by, nothing's really happening. It's around $42 right now. It's this great spot to double up. Oh, of course, the bottom is in, and it is finally turning up. Yes. And then a couple more weeks go by, and it's down at 35 now, and it's like, I don't understand. My research says this thing is undervalued. It should have exploded on earnings. I am not selling. I have diamond hands. I already talked about how stupid that is. Do not have diamond hands. A couple weeks later, it's down to $30. Remember, it's gone from 45 at this point to 30. So it's lost a third of its value. And this person's saying, this is nuts. But it's just shaking out all the chicken holders. I know I will be right eventually. Well, you're already down 30%. You clearly aren't right now. Why would you be right eventually? Now, at this point, it's around $17. So it's about 66% down from when you bought it originally. And you've doubled up on it. So you're way down at this point. What the F, man? This is ridiculous. And then it hits 15. And maybe you've had this thought of, how much lower can it go? Clearly, this is the bottom. It can't go any lower. Clearly, this is the bottom. How much lower can it go? Then it gets to 11. And then you finally admit, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. As it's given up 80% of its value. 80% of its value. And then you finally admit you're wrong. Just yesterday, I was on my YouTubes. And I watched this video. So there's this channel called Financial Education. I've watched him off and on for a while now. And he was talking about how he's lost basically over half his portfolio in 6 months. Over $1 million in 6 months. Half of his portfolio in 6 months. Because of this. Because he was this person. He was this person that doubled up. He was this person that held it all the way down. And there's so many stocks that look just like this right now. This doesn't have to happen to you. Strong opinions, weakly held. So maybe you had some of the same emotions. Maybe this rung pretty true watching this go down. But if you were not in the trade, if you were not holding this, let's go back. This is a Robinhood, right? If you were not holding Robinhood, wouldn't it have been obvious that it was going down? Would have been plainly obvious. If you were out of the trade, wouldn't you have thought to yourself, I'm never buying that. But when you're already in the trade, it's so much harder to just admit you're wrong and get out, right? We can look back at this objectively. Take a step back, take a look at this and say, this is in a clear downtrend. I do not want to own this stock until it finds a bottom and then starts to go back up. Anybody who buys dips runs this risk every single time they buy a dip. And it's obvious when you take a step back and look at it objectively. But it's so hard to do when you're already in the trade and you don't have a plan. So there are 3 components to successful trading. First is offense, your proven and tested trading edge, right? You can prove with math that your trading edge works. Number 2 is defense, your exit points and your position size. And number 3 is balance, being able to balance the two. Offense is how you're going to make money. Defense is how you make sure you don't lose money or lose as little as possible. And number 3 is balancing the two. Now, in Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas talks about having a carefree state of mind. And I know you're thinking, how can I have a carefree state of mind when it comes to my money? But you have to get to the carefree state of mind, because otherwise, this is how you're going to blow up your account. because you don't have a carefree state of mind when you're emotionally invested. When you see the price going down every day, but you already put your money in, and there is, by God, no reason that you're going to get out. It's going to go back up. My research says it will go back up. You have lost the carefree state of mind. So here's how we get to a carefree state of mind. Be sure to write this down. I wasn't trying to like karate chop you there. I was trying to show you my pen. Carefree state of mind. Number one, anything can happen in the markets, okay? Like I said earlier, a trade can be perfectly set up. Oh, actually, I have it on the next slide. Anything can happen. A trade, you have to accept that a trade can be perfectly 100% set up and still be a loser. It can be 100% set up and be a winner. But it could also be perfectly set up and still be a loser. But the thing is, that's normal. You need to normalize the fact that you don't have any control over the market. Only control over yourself. Number two, this is a hard one to grasp, so get ready on this, okay? You don't need to know what's going to happen next in the market to make money. I know that one's going to take a minute to process. It did for me, at least. You don't need to know what's going to happen next. Because I know specifically myself, I thought the only way that you made money in stocks was to predict what's going to happen. I thought you had to like have some sort of insider knowledge. I thought you had to be Nancy Pelosi, right? I thought you had to know what was going to happen. I thought you had to predict it. You don't have to. It's about following the trend. If the trend is going down, A, be in cash, or B, trade short. If the trend is going up, you can buy it, but you have to know how much risk you're going to take. You don't have to predict the future. You just have to know how much risk you're willing to take if you are wrong. And you have to follow that with consistency and discipline. You have to be rigid in your plan and flexible in your outcome. Number three, there is a random distribution of wins and losses. This is really important. A random distribution of wins and losses. There will be clusters of wins where you get 3, 4, 5 right in a row. There will be clusters of losses where you get 3, 4, 5 wrong in a row. And then you're going to, bounce back and forth, maybe a couple here, a couple there. It's a random distribution of wins and losses, and you have to mentally accept that. And backtesting proves this, which is why we do it. Any trade can be a winner, or any trade can be a loser. Each trade that you put on is independent of the last one. Each trade you put on is independent of the last one. What I want to do real quick is do a back test, right? God, the market's getting smooshed again. Smooshed. I want to show a back test here to kind of prove the point out. And I'm not trying to like get deep into this. I'm just trying to show you some math here. So I'm going to run our bearish criteria. But I want you to look at here, maximize this. Any trade can be a winner or a loser. This backtest shows a positive expectancy of 11%. In this particular example, only 15 positions were analyzed. 7 out of the 15 were winners. 8 out of the 15 were losers. Random distribution. Go to another one here. 32 positions analyzed. 44% winners, 56 losers. 36% winners, 64% losers. Random distribution means that each trade is its own event, and it is completely independent of the event prior to it. See a couple notes in the chat. Let me catch up real quick. Kavan says, yeah, it sounds just like Peloton, without a doubt. Mondo says, what about Inverse stocks. Will the strategy work? I use for 10 days. It's working for me so far. Oh, yeah, sweet. Yes, of course it's working. It's math. I laugh because it's true. When people like Mondo, when people see how it works, they're like, oh, I don't have to draw like unicorns on my chart. I don't have to draw upside down triangle pennant staircases, right? She's a moving average. The moving average is based on math. Inverse stocks, exactly. Just backtest it. Works the same way. Brian says, hopefully some trades are set up this afternoon. Hopefully. But we can't force them because each trade is going to be independent. Its own data point. So number 4 in this section here is an edge is a higher probability of one thing happening over another. A higher probability of one thing happening over another. That's what we were just showing the backtesting as well. 64% winners or 64% losers. Yet still having a positive expectancy. And then here's a great one. Every moment in the market is unique. That's really important. Really important because if it's set up right now, it can still result in a winner. If it's set up right now, it can still result as a loser because every moment is unique. Nothing is 100% repetitive. There are different buyers and sellers at all times, and there is no guarantee at all. This is why it's hard for smart people, the quote smartest people, to trade. Maybe you've heard this, right? Maybe you've heard that doctors, lawyers, surgeons, dentists, whatever, they love to trade because they have money, but they suck at trading because they have no idea what to do. They suck at trading because 1 + 1 = 2 in school. And they went through hella school, right? They went through like 57 years of school to get to where they are. 1 + 1 = 2 every single time. But in trading, 1 + 1 can equal 20, right? 1 + 1, one good trade can equal 20. And then they get euphoric, like we talked about, and they think, oh, I'm untouchable. Every time this happens, I get 20? Yes. And then 1 + 1 = -20. That's why, quote, smart people have a really hard time trading because it's not the market following any rules that you set. The market does its own thing. The only thing you can control is what you do inside of the market. Imagine it's a pool, right? You can't control the pool. The waves are going to come. The ripples are going to come. The kids are going to splash. The kids are going to jump in. You can't control what's happening in the pool. You can only control what you are doing in the pool. You can only control the swimming that you're doing. You can only control holding on to the side that you're doing. That's where, quote, smart people have a really hard time. Because they want to box it in and say 1 + 1 always = 2. But in reality, it could either be 20 or -20. So here's what you need to write down for this section here. Number 1, anything can happen. We know this. Anything can happen. Number 2, what you don't need to know what's going to happen next. You just got to follow the trend and know how much risk you're taking. Number 3 is there is a random distribution of wins and losses every time. Number 4, an edge equals a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And number 5, every moment in the market is unique. You have to be rigid in the plan, yet flexible in the outcome. So here's the key takeaway. Develop the carefree state of mind in trading. Easier said than done. But when you're rigid in your plan, yet flexible in the outcome, it becomes a lot easier. All right, so does that make sense? Type yes in the chat box to let me know if this makes sense. I know there's a little bit of a delay here. Let me know if this is making sense for you. Let me know if you're getting this. And also, if you have any questions, let me know as well. All right. And also, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick 60-second intermission. I like to do this to give you guys an opportunity to stretch your legs, use the restroom, grab some more coffee, whatever you got to do before we go into the third section here. Brian says yes. April says yes. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to hit the intermission button, and then we'll come back and we'll get right into it.
A 10-minute stock trader takes calculated risks, understands that the treasure lies in knowing the data, doesn't guess at trading, follows their plan, doesn't blame others, takes responsibility, and knows why the market works. A 10-minute stock trader is smart. A 10-minute stock trader understands that they can make the world a better place. They spread joy to others, they follow their dreams, they build each other up, they use money as a tool, and they spend as little time trading and as much time living as possible. Welcome to the 10-Minute Trading Room, where we take the guesswork out of trading.
All right, y'all beat me back. All right, I hope everybody's got their refill of coffee, had a chance to use the restroom. All right, let me catch up on the chat here real quick. Where are we at? Angel says yes. Rebecca says this is making sense. Very, very cool. Christopher says yes. Very awesome. I love doing these webinars. There actually was a point in time where I was scared to do these. Like, I legitimately was like, there's no way I could do these. I can't do it. I can't do it live. But then it's like, you know what? Why? Why can't I do it live? This is fun. I love doing this. Okay, cool. Let's go into the third section now. And of course, as we go, please be sure to ask questions, because the third section is going to blow your mind. Why two traders can make the same trade and have dramatically different results. Now, when you are a successful trader, there are only 4 possible outcomes in a trade. Only 4. There's nothing else. A big win, a small win, a break even, or a small loss. Nothing else. If you want to be a successful trader, you're going to have to be okay with being wrong. You're just going to have to be okay with being wrong. And feeling uncomfortable with those open profits. You have to feel uncomfortable, and you have to get used to it, right? When a trade is working for you, the first thing you want to do is you want to take those profits, right? You want to take those profits off the table. You don't want them to go away. So you want to get those profits as fast as you can. But that doesn't work. You need to let those trends run as far as they can. Our members of the trading room know all about this, right? When we were shorting Peloton, shorting Fastly, and then when we were long in KHC, both of those were monster winners for us. And the uncomfortable profits, the uncomfortable open profits, was tough for some of the people. But we had a set of rules that we're following to the letter. And those rules say when you have a winning trade, you let that thing run as far as it can and only get out when you have a valid exit signal. Not because you're feeling uncomfortable, not because you're nervous, but only when you get the exit signal. GameStop. This is going to be a really good example of how 2 traders can make the same trade and get dramatically different results. GameStop. What do you think the chances are? What do you think the chances actually are that everyone who bought GameStop was a winner. What do you think the chances are? It's 0, clearly. Let's take a look at that. Let me clear all this up here for you. Let's talk about GameStop. Because clearly, a lot of people made a lot of money. Clearly. But a lot of people also lost a lot of money in GameStop. I think I touched a nerve on Mondo there. That is so hard. Yeah, it is. Let those open profits run. But let's talk about GameStop, right? This is when it was around the $13 to $20 range, okay? Anybody who bought in here and then saw the enormous bull run that happened after that did really, really well. But the problem here, and why traders who traded this got dramatically different results, was the difference in trend following and just blindly buying something. Because in trend following, there was an actual legitimate entry signal right there. The 10 over the 20, price over the 50, even right there. An actual legitimate exit signal. And then a legitimate entry signal. And then a legitimate exit signal somewhere over here, where it's gone from 20 to, let's call it 93. That's a huge win. Huge win. 5xing your money? But when people look at this, they think, well, I am a genius and I would have got out at the top at 480. Clearly, because I'm smarter than everybody else in the entire world, and I know where the top is. But let's be honest here. That didn't happen. People bought this candle all the way from 115 to 480 this day. Not us, we would have got in down here. They bought this all the way from 115 to 480 that day. Fact. It wouldn't have printed this price unless somebody was buying it. This trader and I'm going to circle right here, random. And this trader at 403, let's call it 400. This trader at 20, this trader at 400 have the exact same trade, owning shares of GameStop. The difference is that this one got 450%. This one probably still hasn't exited. Let's be honest here. This person 5x their money. This person lost 90%. But in reality, they have the same trade, which is owning shares of GameStop. How do you combat this? How do you not let this happen? The first thing is having a written plan. Take notes. The first thing you got to do is have a written plan, right? To say, hey, I have an entry signal. I have an exit signal. I'm going to follow them. The person that bought right here did not have a plan. They never had a plan. Their only plan was moon. The only plan was that this is going to the moon, period. And then they lost 90%. And they're like, well, I've already lost 90%. Might as well hold it until I can lose 100%. But maybe one day it'll come back. It's a weird thought, right? They had the exact same trade. They both owned shares of GameStop. But because they didn't have a written plan, one person had an incredible return. Nearly 5x their money. One person lost 90% and probably is still holding it to this day, years later. And will probably never sell it, ever. Let's go to another example. You're going to love this one because I love it. NFTs. The biggest scam in history. It's a JPEG on a blockchain. It's not valuable. Let's be honest here. But that didn't stop so many people from buying them. And the real problem with NFTs is liquidity. Think of it this way. An option contract and NFTs are not that dissimilar. Buying a share of a stock versus an NFT, not that dissimilar. The real breakdown between the two is liquidity. Because if I own an option contract or if I own shares in a stock, there is an active marketplace with billions of members in the marketplace, with billions of transactions happening every moment, every minute of the day. NFTs rely on person to person. It's like buying a house, right? It's like buying a boat. But if I can get rid of my shares or my option contracts at any point I want, I'm good. Because there's liquidity there. So I can get in and I can get out. With NFTs, that doesn't exist. It's a one of one, which makes it valuable, except the fact that it's a JPEG that literally anybody should just copy, right? Nobody's walking up to my house, taking a picture of it and saying, my house now. Do you think everybody who bought an NFT is a winner? That's a pretty loaded question. Because NFTs are 100% liquidity based, you're not going to make money unless you actually find a buyer. You bought it, you have to sell it to somebody else. You cannot make money until that transaction occurs. Because of that, you need a lot of interest. But in the span of 3 months, 3 months from January to March, just the Google search term, NFTs, has plummeted to about 32% of what it was at its peak. Now, clearly, I can't measure NFT prices like I can stock prices. But that shows me that in a market that is completely liquidity focused, if the liquidity is gone, there are no more buyers. And you're going to hold that JPEG of a monkey for the rest of your life. Dogecoin. Do you think everybody who bought Dogecoin was a winner? Let's go look at Dogecoin real quick. I love using the charts as an example. I was at a family gathering when all the Dogecoin nonsense was going on. And I remember my brother-in-law, who I'm not a huge fan of in general, but I remember him saying how much Dogecoin he bought as it was doing its thing, right? But I'm pretty sure he hasn't told me how much money he lost when Dogecoin decided to actually be worthless, right? So do you think everybody who bought Dogecoin is a winner? Clearly not. Clearly not. That's the way that two traders can have the exact same trade and have totally different results. Because one of them has a plan. One of them is following a mathematical proven edge. One of them has a carefree state of mind in the way that they trade. The other one is just buying anything that's popular. After it's already made its move. And then blaming the entire world after it starts coming down, because they have diamond hands, that it's everybody else's fault other than their own. Two-Tone says, it sounds like his portfolio. That's why we do this, my friend. So there are the three key components for successful trading, right? There's offense, which is your proven and tested trading edge. Defense, your exit points and your position size. All of this matters. And number three, being able to balance mentally how to follow the plan between the two. This is how two people can have the exact same trade of owning GameStop and of owning GameStop being up 500%, being down 90%. Buying a JPEG, buying a JPEG, making money, owning a JPEG for the rest of your life that nobody's going to want. Two traders can have dramatically different results by having the exact same asset, the same trade, because they don't have the balance. The people who lost on these trades, they most likely didn't even have a plan, because why should they? They knew that they were going to win. They lost that carefree state of mind. They knew that they were going to win. But as we say, rules are boring, but rules make you money because it's true. So here's the key takeaway. The key takeaway is be rigid in your plan, but flexible in the outcome. Have strong beliefs, weakly held. So does that make sense? Are you getting this? I hope you are. I hope you are so much. And let me know if you have questions, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think you can do this? Do you think that you can do this, right? Do you think that you can follow some of these rules with consistency and discipline, right? We spent a little bit of time together and I've taught you some of the best lessons you may have ever heard of in trading. And I know that you can do this. So do me a favor and type yes in the chat box, right? Go ahead and type yes in the chat box. We covered the 4 focus areas that every trader's mastered. We covered the number 1 reason traders blow up, and how 2 traders can have the same trades and have dramatically different results. Like I say, trading is easy once you know the rules.
Is from a consultation that I did with Kavan. I'm giving away free consultations for members of the trading room, and I just want you to hear exactly what Kavan says.
I'm watching these stocks today, and it's like I have Peloton and Fastly, and I'm looking at them and they're following the back test as planned. And I'm like, I'm telling my friend Rob, and I'm like, yo, I'm happy. And he's like, why? I'm like, I finally found something, a setup that I can use. I can go in there. I don't need anybody. I can go in there and I can make the trade my own. I can follow your steps A to Z, and I can plan my trade. As you said, 10 minutes a day, no hassle, no headaches, ain't got to stress. And he's like, for real? So no, I have him taking the previous course that I took because it laid a foundation for me. And I'm like, if you understand what these guys are teaching, then hop on over to Chris, because these guys are going to lay a foundation with the little fundamentals, like, you know, like the basics. And then you when you transition over to Chris, then you will start understanding a little bit more. So, you know, you put in the roof on now. They build the foundation. I did my little thing. You put in the roof. You know, I'm eventually going to learn how to put some furniture in the house. As you can see, it's empty. You know, so you know, that's the goal, man. And I'm loving every minute of it. And the way you teach, it's simplified. And I ain't got to sit there and draw no trend lines. I ain't got to look for no breakout candlesticks. Like, which candle is this at the end of the day? Is it a doji candle? And I'm like, I'll never learn to read candlesticks pattern. Like,
you probably know candlesticks better than I do at this point.
I'm like,
I literally don't know anything about them.
I'm like looking. I'm online on Amazon looking for a good, you know, candlestick, you know, book to learn to read candles. I'm like, I'm not learning none of this stuff. I'm just gonna pay attention to what Chris is doing. I put the lines on there, and dude, I take screenshots of them and I look at them every day, because yesterday I was showing everybody. Like, I called all the guys because I have all the guys that come in the group is guys from my work.
Mhm.
You know, you got Josh, Daniel, Chris, and Rob. You know, they happen on the live when you have. I invite them over, and they love it. You know, I got everybody, you know, asking question. Daniel is on there asking a lot of questions. He actually went and got transpired. So slowly by slowly, you know, everybody's coming to the table and like, you know, want to learn, because step by step is no stress.
Do you want to take this to the next level? Right? Type yes in the chat box if you're ready to take this to the next level, because I want to do something awesome for you today. Let me ask you a question. Would you like my help in implementing this in your trading? That's where the 10-minute trading room comes in. This will allow you to finally live the life you have always dreamed being a trader would be. We have daily live video calls, daily trade alerts, daily new trade setups, daily portfolio updates, daily market analysis, daily trading psychology, which is so important. And everything we trade together. So it's like getting a call from me personally every trading day with what we're trading and why we're trading it, which is really the most important part. Every trading day. Plus, you can get rid of all the fake gurus that you're still following on Twitter. I know I was really guilty of that. Spending hours searching on YouTube for the next YOLO stock, scrolling on Twitter. Everything we trade together. So as a member, you get everything. You get the daily video calls for free. Your membership includes the daily video calls for free. The daily trade setups, the portfolio updates, market analysis, trading psychology, all that's included for free. And then every other Friday, just like you're doing right now, we do live training and Q&A sessions. Just like the one that you're watching right now. And we'll be building new courses together with your questions and your answers. That's so important to me. And these courses, like I said earlier on today, will be available for members only. You get to watch me personally showing you all the lessons that we use in these courses in our trading. And you can ask me questions as you need, right? You get it all. He's showing you what's working today, and it's like an up-to-the-minute field report sent from the front lines of the cutting edge of trading, and then showing you how to model it in your trading fast. And the only way to have access like this would be if I were to sit in the same room with you and you were looking shoulder to shoulder or looking over my shoulder with me every single day. Now, here's what a few of our members have said, right? Robert's saying, your trainings and advice have accelerated my learning 10x. This allowed me to start doing things that were sometimes unthinkable. Listening to Chris is well worth your time, even if you're a seasoned investor. So who's this for? Well, it's for new traders. It's for experienced traders. It's for busy professionals, some side hustlers. Like I know I've got a couple of my 10-minute stock traders in there who are side hustlers, and then parents who just want to trade while their kids nap. And if you've never traded before, don't worry. Is it okay if I over-deliver? As a member, you're going to get everything. You're going to get the live training video calls, and you're going to get the live training every other week with me. And what else do you need to be successful? How about my flagship course, the AI Stock Trading System? And in this, we go step by step on how to use artificial intelligence in your trading. And also, I'll throw in the Real Trades case study course and the bullish, bearish, and neutral option strategy courses. So you'll be all set up there. And you're going to get all of that for free. As a member, you get everything included. That's the daily video calls, the live training and Q&A calls, and the full catalog of our best-selling courses. Okay? But what else would you need to be successful? We have video courses. We have our private chat room. And you're going to be part of a small group of high performers that are across the world that share valuable information that the rest of the planet never discovers. You're going to get the latest cutting-edge trading tactics and strategies before anyone else knows about them, exactly like we talked about today, including the live video trade alerts, the live market analysis, the live portfolio analysis, the live trade setups, the live trading psychology. All of that is included, and the live training and Q&A calls, the live look over your shoulder trading setups, live trading courses built with your questions and your answers. All of this is included as a member. You get all of this. Plus, I'm offering this now as a member. You're going to get at least one free one-on-one consultation like what we showed in Kavan's video And this is coming from me. Who am I? Here's a little bit about me, right? I went straight to the pioneers of successful trading. I learned directly from world famous market wizards and billionaire portfolio managers. And last year, the first year of implementing our strategy, we had a staggering 172.41% return on the first year of execution. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you. Right, you're going to get all of this, including the private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value $5,488. Right now, if all this did was finally set you up to see how real traders are profitable, do you think that'd be worth it? If all this did was help you shortcut the Wall Street learning curve, which hurts so bad, skip all those costly mistakes that most traders make and take years to figure out, would it be worth that? If all this did was give you the ability to model our trades and cut out the garbage that you see on the internet, you know what I'm talking about, would it be worth that? So I had two choices. The first option was to go as cheap as possible to try and help, everybody out there. But the thing is that there are lots of freebie seeking knuckleheads, the guys on Wall Street bets, right, that really shouldn't be trading anyways. But the second option, which we went with, is the little higher investment in yourself, in the program. And in exchange, you get my time and my attention, and you're going to get you set up to get the success that you've always wanted. What would that one perfect trade be worth to you? Do you think that if you develop the trades like I did, you get the same results that I did? For the right person, this membership should pay you, clearly. If you're like most people, you would tell me you'd probably pay for years of membership with just the proceeds of one single trade. I know a couple of people have already done that. You'd probably tell me that everything else after that would just be gravy. And that's why I'm sending you our total trading system every month, right? I want to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. And I take a lot of pride in helping our members win big and avoid the big losers too. And that's why this is worth $5,488, because you're here today. You're now officially a 10-minute stock trader. I'm going to give you a monster discount. Of course, I wouldn't ask you to pay $5,488. The monthly cost of being part of the 10-minute trading room is only $147. That's it. That's like $4 a day if you think about it that way. You're going to get the daily live video calls with me. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls. You're going to get the full catalog of our best-selling courses, and you're going to get a private one-on-one consultation with me. Total value, $5,488. And the monthly cost, like I said, it's only $147. You can boil it down to $4 a day. There's no contract. You can cancel at any time. You've got two choices, really. The first option is you do nothing and not take this leap of faith and continue to struggle, continue to search on YouTube, continue to search on Twitter, continue to listen to those fake gurus. The first option really is nothing changes. Or the second option, you invest in yourself. The second option is you learn how the market really works. The second option, you give yourself a shot. See if this works for you. Like I said, there's no contract. You can cancel at any time. But don't you think it'd be worth $147 to show me how we set up every single trade, every entry point, and every exit point, and like Kavan said earlier, step by step with no stress? Do you think it'd be worth $147 for you to come spend an entire month right here sitting next to me, looking over my shoulder on every trade we make? Well, that's pretty much what it's going to be exactly like. I'm going to walk you through every entry, every exit, and why we do everything. Personally showing you what's working and what's not. The daily trade alerts are meant to give you that exact same experience. And here's something else to consider. Do you think it'd be worth $147 to jump online with me twice a month to get all of your trading questions answered, right? If you have any questions, you just let me know. I got you. I'm here for you. I do this for you. That's what we do in the live training and Q&A calls. Plus, you can see your fellow members every day, and you can ask them what's working for them, right? And any of those scenarios sound like it might be useful to you, then this is clearly a no-brainer. You can still keep all the courses for free no matter what. You're going to get the daily trade alerts. You're going to get the live training and Q&A calls, the full catalog for our best-selling courses, and best really of all is to get you set up for success, the private one-on-one consultation with me. The work we do together can change everything. You know that. This can change your life. This is the wealth ripple effect that we're talking about. You'll be able to take our trade ideas and plug them into your account effortlessly, because I show you exactly step by step. You connect with me and your fellow members on our live video calls every day. help you get the guidance and the focus that you need. So take this offer or become a member today. Remember, you're under no obligation. You can cancel at any time, and you can still keep all the gifts for free. And here's a couple other bonuses I want to tell you about. Here's 3 fast action bonuses if you sign up today. I wrote the Secret Investing book, and I want to send you an autographed copy in the mail, plus the audiobook. I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide to our 10 Minutes to Freedom trading strategy, which we use every single day. And finally, our top stock list, which I update this every single day. So every day that you get this is exactly what we are doing in the trading room. So let me show you how to sign up real quick. Just go to 10minutetradingroom.com. Click this big blue button right here that says, click here to take the guesswork out of trading right now. Then you're going to go to the next page, and it's going to ask you a couple of questions like your name, address, and everything. Put in your credit card number to get started. Make sure that you put in your t-shirt size, because I want to send you a hashtag 10-minute stock trader, because you're going to be officially one of us, officially a 10-minute stock trader. So if you have any questions at all whatsoever, feel free to reach out to our team. We would love to help you out, love to get you set up, and love to get you as part of the 10-minute trading room. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I hope that this was very enlightening, very useful, and I can't wait to see you inside the 10-minute trading room with us every single day, and in fact, later on today as we make our trades. Thank you so much. Hope to see you there.
No sound. Oh, I blew it. Okay. Yes. What I was trying to say is, I hope you had the opportunity. Thank you guys for letting me know I had no sound, by the way. Thank you for the opportunity to let me share all this with you. I would bet you probably have 2 pages worth of notes, and we covered so much today, right? And Mondo is asking, why don't others teach this too? I don't know. I wish that people did, because trading doesn't have to be hard when you follow the rules. It doesn't. So I do want to congratulate Maria, Isaac, Kavan, and Victor. All of you guys are getting Bear Market t-shirts headed that way this afternoon. I can't wait to get mine. I'm going to put it on as soon as I get it in the mail. There's so much that we cover every day in the trading room, and there's so much we cover on these bi-weekly web classes. And I'm so glad that you guys took the chance, the opportunity to come and hang with us today. I hope you learned a lot. And of course, if you ever need anything at all, please reach out to me or our team, and I'd love to help you out. And I cannot wait to see you guys later on in the trading room. And Maria, Isaac, Kavan, and Victor, I'll be sending those shirts right after we get off this call. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I can't wait to see you on later today in the 10-minute trading room.